So are you ready to PR yourself? We'll remove the mystery from all things PR, and we'll discuss everything from our top strategies to tips and tricks and everything that you can utilize to further enhance your brand or your message. I've been in media, I'm a journalist, and I'm also a publicist. I am Leah Frazier, CEO of Think3 Media, and your host for PR Yourself with Leah Frazier. Let's go. And welcome back to another episode of PR Yourself with Leah Frazier, the space where entrepreneurs, creators, and go-getters learn how to elevate their message, own their narrative, and build the visibility that they deserve. I'm your host, Leah Frazier, and I'm so happy to be back for another power-packed episode. And you guys, I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am about this one. I know you've been waiting on episodes. I had to take a holiday break. I was in Africa with my soon-to-be in-laws and my amazing, amazing fiance. I started off on the East Coast, or I guess the east side of Africa, in an island called Mauritius. And I was there for a week. And this was in December. And then I left Mauritius Island and I was in South Africa for about 3 weeks. And my fiance surprised me with a road trip. He knows how much I love road trips. So we went to, it's called the Mpumalanga. It's like a scenic road trip, like a scenic kind of, I can't really describe it. You're like going through these canyons and there's waterfalls along the drive. It's some of the most beautiful views I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just wanted to stay all day. And we stayed at this beautiful lodge that was kind of out in the mountains. So it was he knows I love nature. So we were there in nature, we were cooking, and it was just like the best time. And then we headed back to Pretoria where his family was and celebrated Christmas with them. It was his birthday. So y'all, I've been having a time. Okay. I missed y'all. I really wanted to try to put out episodes every week, but once I got on that plane, it was a wrap for me. And then I got back here to Dallas and I had the opportunity to attend PodFest. And I just want to shout out our distribution partner who we distribute these podcast episodes through, Buzzsprout, because they sent me to Orlando to attend PodFest just to up my game with podcasting. And it was great to be with other podcasters from all over the nation who cover a myriad of topics. It was pretty awesome. And FYI, PR tip, if you want to pitch yourself for podcasts, because that's a part of your strategy, go to podcasting conferences. And all of them that I met were taking guests for their shows. And I literally was sending my friends people's information and writing down for my clients, like, oh, here's some great podcasters for them to be on their show. So I had my podcaster hat on and my publicist hat on while I was there. And I was like, man, this is a smart business strategy for a publicist, is to actually go to this podcast conference and you just pitch your clients to go on all these shows while you're there. So it was awesome. And so I had to just re-strategize a couple of things before I came back here, and really, really wanted to dive deep into getting you guys episodes for 2026. So you're going to notice there's going to be a couple of changes. I'm still going to be bringing on our amazing experts, like our one that we'll be featuring today, Lynn Ward. Can't wait for you to hear from him. Like, I'm really, really excited about this one. But I'm going to be introducing the PR Daily. So you're going to be getting these bite-sized PR tips 5 times a week, Monday through Friday. And if we have an amazing guest like Lynn Ward, you will get the longer interview, especially for those of you that like to listen and take notes and you actually apply it to your business. You're going to have those longer form interviews to be able to download and listen all at one time. But let's just say, for instance, today, this is one of our bite-sized interviews with Lynn because his entire episode was so good. Like, my brain was going a million miles a minute about things I need to change, things I need to change, tell my clients to change. It was so good. We're going to take some of those clips and make it super digestible for you so you can hit it and quit it in about 10 minutes every single day. And then if you want the longer interview all at once, we'll also have that on the podcast channel, and you can listen to it on your drive, on the way to work, on lunch break, however you want to do it. It's completely up to you. But I will be introducing the PR Daily. That also gives me room to weigh in with you guys about things that I'm seeing in real time that I want to discuss with you. So be on the lookout, the PR Daily. Now, if you want to stay connected with me, I'm just going to go ahead and do this plug right now. Go ahead and go to Substack. My Substack channel is under The Leah Frazier. I'm going to link it in the show notes. Baby, I'm giving y'all like free press and media opportunities on my Substack, and it's coming through in real time. So for example, yesterday, there was a request by Elle Magazine. The arts and culture editor was looking for authors who are publishing books in 2026. And if you wanted to submit your book for consideration when they do their best of list and their seasonal list, there was the form right there. So I took that form, I posted it on Substack, I shared it on all my channels, and I said, hey, if you know of a woman author that's publishing a book in 2026, here's the link to send your book into Elle Magazine to get it featured. Other things that I've done recently, Newsweek was looking for some sources. When I see things in real time like that, I am publishing on Substack because it's super easy, and Substack shoots you the email immediately. So I don't have to go and edit, and it's super, super just more efficient use of my time to do it that way. So again, you're going to head to Substack. I'm under The Leah Frazier. I'm going to put the link in the show notes, and be just aware and cognizant of some of those media opportunities that I'm going to be sharing with you. But I'm having a blast on Substack, and I want you to join me. All right. So today's episode, okay, let me tell you guys about how all of this is just shifting in my mind. Okay. So this past semester, I would say past fall semester, I taught digital marketing at Texas Wesleyan. I absolutely love teaching there. And sometimes I go off script and I don't necessarily teach from the book because there's changes in digital marketing that happen in real time. And one of the conversations that I was having with my students was that I don't want to say way back when because it makes us sound dated and old, but remember there was just a point in time where it was always about SEO. SEO. How can I come up on the first page of Google, Yahoo, Bing? It was always about SEO, search engine optimization, and what do I have to do? What are my long tail keywords? What are my short keywords? What type of content needs to be refreshed on the website? Like, how can I get my product, my business, my brand, my service to come up in these Google searches? Like, that was the obsession for marketers. And to a certain extent, it still is. But now enter our AI era where everything runs through OpenAI, ChatGPT, Google Gemini, whatever it's running through. If you guys go back a couple of episodes, we were having those conversations about how do you come up in AI search engines, and as publicists, what do we need to do to make sure that our clients, when people are searching or they're asking those questions, how are we coming up in the AI search results? And so it's AEO, AIEO, so it's not no longer SEO. It's like AEO or AIEO, and even I think Lynn's going to refer to it as GEO as well. And now we're shifting our minds to like not just SEO, but like how are we having our brands, our businesses coming up in AI search results? And so Lynn and I are going to have the conversation, because when I tell you, it was like a perplexed mind when I had to think about how people are searching in OpenAI, how people are searching in ChatGPT. So be cognizant the next time you search in ChatGPT. We're typing out like full questions. How do I get this to do this? Like, we're talking to it like it's a person. So it's no longer these short keywords that we were so obsessed with in SEO. We're typing full on questions, and that is the search term, right? And we want to be found within whatever AI pulls up to recommend to the user. You want your brand, your business, you to be the solution. And so it is a totally reframe of how you're thinking. It's a totally different state of mind. And so I am beyond honored to have an expert talk about this because, baby, I couldn't put this in the right words if I wanted to. Okay. So get your pen and paper for this. I purposely made this a shorter episode because I want you to hear and digest what Lynn is saying, because this is changing how we view digital marketing from here on out. I don't care what anybody says. You're going to hear Lynn say, search engine optimization is dying. He kept it 100, okay? And I believe him, and you're going to hear why. So go ahead. You know what to do. Get your pen and get your pad, okay? And when we come back from the break, it's going to be me and Lynn, and he's going to blow your mind. But before you do, let me tell you a little bit about Lynn. Lynn Ward, he is a former Wall Street VP, and I asked him, who leaves Wall Street to do digital marketing? You. But he's a former Wall Street VP. That means he's super smart. He was on the institutional equity trading desk, and then he transitioned from the high-stakes world of finance to becoming a digital marketing expert. He now leads the AI revolution as managing partner of Comexis, an AI consulting and product development firm. With a rare blend of financial insight, entrepreneurial experience, and AI expertise, Lynn brings practical, forward-thinking guidance to today's business leaders. He's a sought-after voice for business leaders ready to understand how AI is changing marketing, operations, and growth, and what it takes to stay ahead. So if you're scared of AI, Lynn is really going to have you shaking in your boots when he tells you what's coming up next. So you either need to become friends with AI, get it in your mind that it's about to be a part of your business strategy, or maybe go drink you a cold one so you can digest where we're headed in the near future with AI and digital marketing. But regardless, go get your pen, go get your paper. And when we get back from the break, it's going to be me and it's going to be Lynn, and we're going to be talking all things AI, ChatGPT, searches, search and retrieve, and how you need to come up in these results and how you can reframe your mind and your strategy to do so right now. Keep it locked in. When you're the bottleneck in every major decision, growth isn't just about working harder. It's about working smarter. Since 2002, Integrality has helped entrepreneurs improve their operations through consulting, accelerator programs, and AI-driven platforms like Capixi. Our expert team delivers strategic solutions that drive profitable growth and reclaim valuable time. Ready to build a business that runs without you? Visit integralityllc.com and start your evolution today. You may know some other trends down the pipeline that we'll be able to use as small business owners and as trying to market our products or services. So what else are we seeing?
So for products, I mean, well, the first thing, and I this is kind of one of the things I stand on. It's one of my pillars of content is if you're a marketer, if you're a small business owner, you have to read the room and understand that, again, I come back to search and retrieve is dying. Again, you go to Google, you search for a product, you read all the links, and you then come up with an answer for yourself. That's still going to be here to a point, but as we grow with AI, as the younger generation who is now they've raised with AI, as they start becoming your buying public, you now have to pivot all of your content and all of your marketing into how can I solve people's problems? And you have to identify the problems that your business solves, and then you have to put that pen to paper. You have to then create video on that, podcast, whatever it may be, and really come from an angle of this is the problem we solve and this is why we do it. Because that's exactly what AI does. It literally solves your problem. It says, what do you have? I'm going to go through every single piece of information I have, and I'm going to come back to you with what I think is about a 99.9% accurate solution to your problem. So that's a huge fundamental shift in marketing, because forever we were always creating like images and you're creating videos and you create like great white papers and great slogans. And I think there's all a place for that, but not in the solve my problem world. The solve my problem world is going to be, really calling out the problem right away. And then what do you have underneath to do it? Solve your problem is going to come in various different fashions. It's an AI chatbot on your website. It's going to be maybe somebody interacting with ChatGPT, and you can create a ChatGPT plugin, which I can talk about in a minute, and a myriad of different things. But that's the type of things you want to start thinking about. So if you are a business owner, the best piece of advice I can give you is you have got to start allocating some of your resources to understanding how AI works within customer service, sales, and marketing, because that's where it's going to impact you first. So that's kind of it there.
Remember sitting in your office dreaming of creating a home that's truly a sanctuary, where every sunrise held promise and every sunset brought peace? As life evolves, imagine waking up in a luxury tiny home among towering pine trees with a peaceful pond and open meadows, just minutes from the city that built your success. At Tiny Renaissance Homes, accomplished professionals rediscover what truly matters. Live happy, live healthy, live tiny. Experience glamping retreats, wellness activities, and smart investment opportunities. Your renaissance awaits. Visit tinyrenaissancehomes.com for more information.
I have a question while we're on this whole chat GPT thing, and then you knowing so much about SEO. Because what are they calling it now? Like AIO or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. GDO,
Where,
AEO, all that. Yeah.
yeah, whereas before we were so focused on, short and long keywords, but now they're telling us to shift to what would somebody be actually saying and putting in ChatGPT, which would be this longer question, like how do
Mhm.
I, like yesterday I was in there typing in, how do I do a road trip from here to here for a 20-year-old?
Yeah. Mhm.
What are you seeing in terms of that, where people maybe need to shift their mindset even when it does come to these keywords and SEO and being found?
So I've done SEO since 2005, right around there. I'd like to call myself one of the old school guys of doing it for years. I built my career on it. I built my agency on it. It's what's got me in the front door of any company that does reach out to me because they want to talk about SEO. And I'm the very first to say SEO is going to die. It's everyone's like, oh, everyone's been forecasting it, and I come back and say, I keep coming back saying we're in a solve my problem world, and SEO is search engine optimization. People are no longer going to be searching; they're going to be asking a question, and that question is going to be they want an answer right away. So SEO is always predicated on building great pieces of content that you could stack up together and then make your decision. And hopefully, that content was just going to be within the website, right? So this blog leads to that blog leads to a
Yeah,
contact form.
yeah,
That's going away because now you're going to be in ChatGPT, and that's going to be pulling from a million different sources. So a lot of people are saying, "Hey, yeah, right. So how do I rank on there, and how do I?" It's not about ranking; it's about having your brand cited, and
yeah.
that's the number one thing you want to pay attention to. Build that brand right now. So the old school brand marketing is here. Have a presence on podcast. Have a presence on social media, like a real presence. Do these, interactive videos. Do the live videos, which is a huge growing trend right now. You have to create all of this type of content where you are trying to solve people's problems. You are giving them advice and trying to help them. And don't think of the old school ways of this is what I have to do for SEO to try to get on Google and still be in search. Look, I think we have 2 feet here. You have 1 foot that's in the boat, 1 foot that's on, we'll call it the deck or the dock, and the boat is AI taking off, getting ready to go to another place. And the dock, you still have to keep your foot on there to maintain your composure, right? So you still have to keep both there, but the weight's now shifting over to the boat a little more, if it makes sense. So it's
Yeah.
okay to lift your foot up a little bit and say, I'm going to put a little bit more money in building my brand right now. We're going to look for the right sponsorship opportunities. And I tell people all the time, get on podcast, start sponsoring things locally. Stop worrying about lead generation and what are all my leads coming in the front door, because overnight, this is going to shift to where all my leads have dried up. My lead generation, I don't know what to do anymore. Well, because you didn't put any money towards building a brand. And that's
Mm,
the biggest problem. Companies, like, go look at law firms and so forth, and we have them as clients. They spend so much money on lead gen, which I get, but they don't put any money behind building the brand That's where public relations gets involved. Public relations is going to be one of the most important angles in business in the next 2-3 years. Yeah, you're in a great spot.
Say it again, Lynn.
Yeah, you're coming to the golden
Say
era.
it again.
You really
We're coming
are.
in hot.
Yeah, you really are. And I tell people like you, it's mandatory you have the right PR firm working with you and kind of getting that stuff out there. So I think when people are thinking about SEO and so forth, I think you still have to invest in it, but I think you have to start building that brand up. So really start allocating your money in places that build the brand up.
I'm so glad that you said that. There was somebody that reached out to me the other day, and it was a guy, or she knew a guy that wrote 2 books and and the conversation and the subject matter was literally top tier. I was like, this is actually going to go somewhere. I was like, but he hasn't established anything. Mm-hmm. And I said, until he works on building his brand, you can have the best book in the world. And I've seen, authors who have written several books making the same mistake. I was like, and especially where we are right now, I was like, it's not going anywhere. So I actually rerouted him to another firm that works just on that alone. Because I'm like, you can't skip that and say, I want to go on a media tour. I can't do anything with that.
Yeah, nobody knows who you are.
I can't do anything with that.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you said those things. So now that it's just out there, because it's PR, where, sometimes we wonder if we're useful.
I work with a great PR firm, and I see the value. And when certain companies larger companies that deal with fires and stuff like that, who don't have a PR firm, I don't get it. You can't have your marketer's not putting the fire out. You need your PR person to come in and help this out.
Oh yeah, I turned in a report yesterday, and I'm actually going to pat myself on the back. I won't name the client, but I had to turn in the report, and I was like, we had 62 pieces of coverage in less than a year.
That's great.
And I had to sit back and be like, but then I was thinking about the amount of work, and what they've invested in order to get that and to be at the forefront, that then led to awards and recognition and being the top in what they do. And I'm just like, but it's important because it helps with searches and all those things. And so I was just like, wow, I don't understand. If you're doing it without, great. But it's definitely necessary.
Well, yeah, and to capitalize on what you're saying, it's because that is where the LLMs, large language models, ChatGPT, Gemini, Grok and Claude, that's where they're crawling. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for you to be cited. It is almost like the old school, way of SEO where you have to be an expert in your industry, right? That was always, so you had to get a backlink. So that was like the way to kind of start ranking for stuff, and then Google start ranking you. Okay, that's true to a point. So some of the game plan that we used in SEO is definitely going to play in the new AI world. But yeah, you do need to be cited. You do need to have the public relations.
Wow. I told you guys, Lynn was bringing it. And once I put this full episode up on my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see my face. I was just like, my eyeballs were probably bugging out of my head because there were just so many incredible nuggets. So Lynn, I thank you for being on the episode, bringing your expertise. Just an amazing guest. And like I said, this is only a snippet. This interview with Lynn was actually 40 minutes. So if you liked just these little bit of nuggets that he gave you guys today, you're going to want to keep it locked in, turn your notifications on, or subscribe to this podcast, because I will be dropping more from Lynn later this week, and the full episode as well if you want to listen to it all again. But you know what to do if you heard things that really shook you in your boots, or you're really excited to get going. You want to like, comment, share, subscribe, rate, and leave us a review if this podcast is really helping you with your business. If you have episode suggestions or questions on how you can better PR yourself, you can go ahead and reach out to me either on LinkedIn at the Leah Frazier or at PR Yourself Podcast on Instagram. And I look forward to bringing you everything you need to PR yourself better in 2026. Again, follow Lynn, follow all the things that he's doing at Chemexis. And when we come back for our next episode, Lynn will be dropping more nuggets about where AI is headed for 2026 and how you need to tap in. But until then, until next time.